This video is brought to you by XCharge, the largest EV charging manufacturer in the world. They are also a provider of residential and commercial battery storage with microgrid solutions. This video is also brought to you by Kempower, the reliable, quick, and scalable EV charging solution for everyone and everywhere. Well, we have had a lot of exciting days here in February of 2024, and today is another one. Welcome to an Out of Spec Reviews video, and today is the day we take delivery of another DC fast charger that will be ours for a year to test. And it's a really cool program we're doing with a company called XCharge, and it's a battery buffered DC fast charger system that's also bidirectional and can backfeed our building in the case of a power outage. It's a really cool unit. So I'm going to give you, I'm going to see it for the first time, walk you through what we're going to do with this thing, how we're going to install it. We're on the way to the office now. Then we'll unbox it. We'll take a look at it, just make sure we know what everything is. I'll show you around our space and how we're kitting it out. And of course, I'll give you an update on the installation of all of our DC chargers, because now we're up to 3 and there's more coming. So we have our original Autel 240 kilowatt charger that started this whole thing. That's my priority to get in the ground as soon as possible. But there's so much more to cover. And I can't thank the companies that have offered to work with us on this project to install high power charging so we can learn about what it takes to own and operate really quite expensive, quite complicated EV charging equipment, and share everything we learn with you guys along the way. So here's a little bit of an update episode. Made the yellow light, I think.
You did. You did good.
Nice. I can't wait. Let's go to the office. A huge thanks to Climate Exchange for sponsoring this Out of Spec video. Climate Exchange is doing something really cool. They are giving you $112,000 if you win towards an electric car of your choosing. Oftentimes when we do raffles, there's a vehicle already selected, but in this case, you can choose a Rivian, you can choose a Model X Plaid, you can choose an S Plaid, you can choose an e-tron, you can choose whatever you want. They're giving you $112,000 plus taxes and fees, plus home charging installation, all in that prize, which is pretty amazing. There's also some cash prizes as well. Climate Exchange has done this for 8 times in a row now, and they have some amazing prizes every time. Climate Exchange is a non-profit organization working to help pass laws to fight climate change. It's a fantastic one. All you have to do is go to carbonraffle.org to purchase a ticket and enter for your chance to win. Thanks to Climate Exchange for sponsoring this Out of Spec video. So at 5:45 this morning, I got a call, and I was up early today. I don't know why. I was up at 4 something for some reason, but I was on my way to Starbucks actually, and I got a call. I'm like, who's calling me this early? And it turned out to be the truck driver delivering the charger to the office. And now I had put our hours are like, well, the building's hours are, I think, are 9 to 4. It's school hours, or maybe it's 8 to 4. I don't actually even know. But he called me this morning, and I showed up, and he was parked here on the street. So I drove up from Starbucks over here to meet him, and I said, like, look, dude, I can drive a forklift. I've never tried it before, but it may not be a good idea to handle our new XCharge unit with this forklift. And so, you know, I said, are you cool waiting? He's like, yeah, I'm early. I just wanted to call you and let you know I was here at 5:45 in the morning. But it worked out fine. It was all good. And he's gone. So I'm assuming Kirk, who you saw in the previous DC fast charger video, has already unloaded it. Kirk is sort of the building guru here. He's an electrical genius, a super nerd of coding everything, really one of the smartest people. And he manages the CSU Powerhouse, which is sort of an innovation lab. So you can imagine the type of person it takes to do that. But here's our existing level 2 EVSE that we have on the property, which is just 30 amps per output, and we are going to be replacing that or adding to it. I'll give you the options with our new XCharge unit. Now, our space is in the back of the building, so we don't have to deal with all the parking nonsense around here. And let's go see if they've delivered it to the back. This XCharge unit was sent to us, just so everyone knows, as a review unit. No money exchange. They dropped it off. We are paying to install it, and it will go back to them after 1 year. There may be product revisions. If there are, they're going to update our product with all the newest ones, which is kind of cool. And I think it's a great idea for us to play around with this unit. So I'm coming back here. I also am not seeing it. Here's our EV9 that we've had on test.
Maybe it's
And I'm
inside?
also not seeing the boxes that we left here. But I
Sorry.
am seeing some forklift tire marks. So I'm hoping no one stole all of our tools.
I think you put everything inside.
Yeah, I think Kirk probably did us a solid and put it all in the garage door. So anyway, the whole front trunk of this Rivian is full of tools for the new garage office. Our office is upstairs, but we have this back side of the garage over here. And so, yeah, let's park this thing right there so I don't drive through the Kia EV9 charge port. Let's go inside and find our new DC charger. This is crazy, Alyssa.
This is a lot.
This is our area over here. And Kirk said we had to move the smart car. Which is funny. But holy shit, this is crazy. So, XCharge battery energy storage system, 233 kilowatt hours, 300 amps. Holy smokes. We got BYD battery energy storage system. That's cool. Okay. And I see some like USA, but also some Chinese things. So this is all kind of interesting. Now, XCharge is a Texas-based company, and they already sell units. They already have installed like standalone all-in-one DC chargers. I'm going to walk everyone through how this all works. And we should pull it open in this episode, see what the heck we got. This is crazy. Oh, even more stuff over here. Look at that.
We don't have enough room for all this.
We need more stuff. And then we have our like workbenches that we were going to set up.
Right there.
Right there. Oh, God. Okay, and then here's our Autel 240 kilowatt. We already did the unboxing on that one. So this is like heaven. This is crazy.
That is so easy.
That
This is like, why? There's so much.
we got to take a full inventory of all this. I want to call the XCharge guys before I unbox it. Just be like, what the heck is all this? What should we do? What should we not do? Wow. This is crazy.
We need to get these installed ASAP as possible.
Absolutely. Well, we had 3 different companies quote us installs so that we know what the picture is, and I'm going to share all of those with the audience.
Yeah.
I'm going to walk everyone through the technical specifications, and that charger and these chargers will have individual coverages for time to come, and they're completely different types of units. This is a standalone all-in-one DC charger. This is like crazy, I think, quite expensive, quite complicated, but really neat and needed technology that has a big ass battery that can be fed with AC power, like a level 2 charger power, basically, juiced up a little bit, and then can output 200 or 300 kilowatts, depending on the version. I don't actually know what version they sent us. It's in my email somewhere, so I got to research. Oh, delivery day! Holy smokes, this is way more of a project than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, and then we have these workbenches too that we have to put together. They're like, it takes a lot of work. So we got a lot to do.
If anyone's in Fort Collins and wants to come help set up some stuff, let us know.
Yeah. Well, all this will be set up by the time this video goes up.
Yeah, by the time this video goes up, everything will be sorted, I hope. But, Alyssa, what should we do? I want to go through and show everyone like online what this is first.
Yeah.
And then we'll unbox it. And then we'll talk about the install of everything. I don't think the unboxing is going to be that hard. I'm just peeling these things open by hand.
Okay. Well, it's just... This is a lot. This is giving me some anxiety.
Look how
So
tall
much
these boxes
stuff.
are next to you. I mean, it's like these are...
Yeah, I'm like almost 6 feet.
Yeah, crazy.
And I have a big reach too, so this is about 10 feet, is my guess.
Yeah, 10 feet, maybe 9 feet.
8 to 9.
8 to 9, yeah.
Experience the future of EV charging with our revolutionary battery integrated charger, the Net Zero series. It is...
Well, now you join us, I think, the next day, but it is the evening. It's 8:50, so almost 9 p.m. We honestly have spent the last day building this and this cabinet just so we could get all of our tools and crap all put in one thing. Nothing fancy, but we just needed a basic tool set. But holy smokes, that was quite the process.
That took like 6 hours.
Yeah, just to build this.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Okay, so anyway, now we can actually unbox some chargers now that we're fully equipped. Also, good news, I didn't realize, I thought this was a 208, 240 or 208 panel. Check this out. In here, 277, 480, which means we can actually hook up, and it's 100 amps, and the breaker is 100 amps. So we can actually hook up our Autel before it gets installed to this, and we can hook up this XCharge to this, except the XCharge, this isn't even everything for the XCharge all-in-one. There's no power modules in this one.
Oh.
And I'm not sure if it's the AC to DC power module or the DC to DC, but there's another shipment coming of the power module. So at least in the meantime, before that arrives, we should be able to next week power on our Autel. It's a little bit sketchy. It's not like the ideal way of doing it, but just to get it powered and run it at a very low, because we can derate that all the way down to, 1 kilowatt if we needed to, but we can derate it down to, the limitation here, 100 amps. We'll probably run 80 amps, let's say 60, 65 kilowatts, something like that. That's pretty sick. So, Alyssa, what do you say? We're now tired after building things, but we have to get this video up because I'm so excited to share the XCharge.
Yeah.
That's the battery. That's the transformer, which I'm still not 100% sure what it is, but I'm learning along with the audience. And then this is, I think, the dispenser. And I think when these get installed, that and this get bolted together somehow.
Okay.
I think. And then it all on this plinth here.
Yeah, that will stay in the box.
Yeah, we're not going to unbox this at the moment. No. Not until the install happens. I just want to see what's in here, and I want to see the battery and the transformer. So let's get to unboxing, shall we?
Yep, just grab our tools from our new nifty toolbox.
That's right. This is the same one Colton has. By the way, if you don't mind a bit of a setup, this was really cheap.
Yeah,
This was only a couple $100, which is pretty cheap for a toolbox.
Yeah,
And
I think
like,
we got this, and then also there's a workbench over there for like under $1,000.
Yeah, it was pretty good deal.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, we have it all laid out. We have like our, impact stuff, just a basic kit, our Ryobi. Again, we're not, didn't want to go full bananas here, just basic level things because that's what we're doing. Basic level screwdrivers. This is of no relevance to the XCharge. Let's unbox this thing. While Alyssa is working on unboxing this thing, I'm going to just take everyone around and show you what we've got. So we have a shock sensor that is not tripped over here. I wonder if I can trip it. Nope. So it must be a pretty big shock that it needs. This one's 1,270 pounds for the XCharge charger. This one also no shock over here, which is great. This is the C8A charger. Maybe that's the VIN USA version. Okay, very cool. Looking down here, we have QCRB. I'm guessing quality control room B would be my guess. And over here, nothing super fancy other than it says we should unbox the top first and then the sides. We're not going to do it like we did with the Autel, which was completely out of order. Over here on the battery box, just a quick look. You can see 5,800 pounds. It's a BYD battery partner of XCharge, I guess. And it is Life 04. So lithium phosphate 04. Okay. Model name. Oh, big one. It's 200 kilowatt hours, 729.6 volts nominal with 320 amp hours. But then the calculated rated capacity, I'm guessing full capacity is 233 kilowatt hours. Okay. And then the operating voltage dead is 592.8 and 820.8 volts. So pretty high voltage system here. It can accept 100 kilowatts input and 200 kilowatts output. If you want to get more than 200 kilowatt charging, what happens is once the battery is maxed out, it will actually supplement the extra bit from your grid connection if you have it available, which is kind of cool. And if it's peak demand, I can shut that off and we'll limit to, again, what the battery can do. So 300 amps. Uses Ethernet communication, dimensions, weight, IP54 and IP65, battery designation, okay, address, BYD Road, Pingshan, Shenzhen, Nice. BYD Auto Industry Company Limited. Wonderful. The only thing that has me concerned about all of this, another same information sheet here, is this has gone red. I called the XCharge guys. They said, thanks for letting us know. They think what happened was this was pulled apart when it got to the US, just inspected, and they're thinking maybe someone shocked it during the disassemble and reassemble process of the box itself. But other than that, the box is looking great. Kirk said this thing was maxing out the forklift pulling it out. That was about all it could handle. He said it was really chugging to move this thing. So yeah, looking good. No damage other than the above shock issue, I would say. That really seems to be the only cause of concern at the moment. But yeah, we got a lot of batteries sitting in here. So yeah, cool. If any of you know more about this particular battery model, let us know. We'd love to learn more. Alyssa, the one thing I didn't make clear in the previous clip is this Life 04, I think is normally Life P 04. I think it's lithium iron phosphate. I think it's an LFP battery, which is generally safer and has a higher cycle count and all of those things. So that's kind of cool. I think it is an LFP battery. I'll confirm with the XCharge guys, but if this clip makes it in the video, then that's an LFP pack, which is pretty sick. All right, Alyssa, the top's coming off. Holy smokes. Okay. All right. We've done a little bit of work on the sides as well. Can we get a sneak peek? Oh, plastic wrapping. So I can't really see too much, but I think we're ready to get this side off almost completely. And then we can do the reveal. Honestly, I have never seen one of these in person, so this will be my first time seeing it along with the viewers. All right, we have one side completed. What do you say, Alyssa? This is an interesting way to do a reveal. It might actually fall on you. Okay, well, it's the side of it. So would you mind lifting this back up just so I could squeeze around you there? Thank you. Okay. Oh, boy. Look at this thing. Gorgeous. It's got some cables on it. Here we go. Cable management's down at the moment. This must be an access door. Okay. We gotta pull this thing off. We gotta get this stupid cover off of it. I want to see this thing completely opened up. So let's finish unboxing it so we can get the full picture.
All right, the time has come for the reveal. Boop, 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 boop.
Oh, I don't even get to see it.
Oh, wow. Looks like an alien.
Oh, cool. Let's show the viewers what we got going on here. Dang. Oh, and it actually came with a credit card reader. That's cool.
Nice.
I believe they offer Nayax and Pater, both as options. And what cables are on this one then? We have REMA 200 amp cables. No Amphenol. Amphenol. Why did I say REMA? It says Amphenol right there. So Amphenol 200 amp on this one, which would be 80 kilowatts per port, but I think they have a boost function. We'll have to ask. I got to get the full data on everything. And then they also have a NAX version as well that we'll be able to retrofit this out with. So we'll have CCS and NAX on this one, and maybe we'll do a higher amperage. NAX cable will be the plan, which would be kind of preferable. I'd like to have big boy charging speeds with this. And keep in mind, this is still a very early unit. There will be, I think, maybe another one coming in the near future that we're going to swap this out with that will do even higher power with newer stuff. But wow, nice screen. Pretty big, I have to say. Nice light up there. Okay. Doesn't look too bad. Well, we have it fully uncovered now. We did leave the top bit on, but only because I'm not tall enough to push it off completely. Yeah, looking pretty cool. Take a look at this. We have our cables over here. We'll have to kind of unspool them a little bit, but you can see we have cable management. And what's cool is it locks in, and then I can pull it again and it sucks it all the way up. So it's like really strong, good cable management. Love that. There's also a cover for the e-stop. Really like that as well. Encourages people that, you know, they really need to like kind of break something to hit stop, just so you don't get like some guys going, I stopped your charging, and then you gotta like, if I'm gone for a week, I gotta ask someone here at the powerhouse to like run out and hit it. It's not a big deal in our case. Some other things to note. Can't wait for NACS. They shipped us a sort of quick connect option, so we could hook it up to a red plug, which we could install right over here off of this service panel. I don't know what the maximum amperage is, but between this red plug and what we have here, I think we can actually hook this thing up. But again, I don't believe this one shipped with power modules, so once those arrive, then we can do it. So come on over here on the side. We're going to open this up together for the first time.
I want to move the cable out.
Yeah, probably have to unhook the cables. So let's pull the management out of the way. And let's have a quick glance inside. We should probably unhook the, oh no, the other cable's fine. Oh wow, this is nice. Here, let's take a look. So this must be where the power modules go into. So you have 3, 6, 9, 12, 16, 15. So plus some more at the bottom. I'm guessing they're 30 kilowatt modules, but I believe it's also DC to DC because you're running off of this. So you have some AC to DC rectifiers and some DC to DC converters or boosters, if you will. This is a really nice looking charger on the inside, very similar to the Autel, where it's all kind of laid out nicely right here. So this is much more complicated than the Autel though, because again, look, they even have a smoke detector in there, which is kind of cool. Because this is a battery buffered system, so this is only one half of the unit. This is the other half that I'm really curious about as well. But in here we have an air filter. Everything seems to be air cooled, so you have your intake air up front with the exhaust fans on the back pulling the air through. That's probably good for NVH because that's away from the car, so it'd probably be a little bit quieter with the fans on the back side. Yeah, certainly cool. This is yeah, really nicely thought out, nicely designed. Everything feels pretty high quality. Holy smokes. I just don't want to lock that into cable management there, so we turn around, close this back up. I think, yeah, on, boom. There's got to be a key for it somewhere. And that's the freaking unit. Let me show you guys around the back side here. Watch your step, Alyssa. On the back side, you can see we actually have the like Euro DC energy meters, which is kind of cool.
You're gonna knock that over.
Yeah, so we have some hardware filter. Why is this not opening? Am I doing something wrong here? Should it be
Maybe
the other way? No. It's definitely that way.
Just a tug.
Just needed a big pull. So here's the fans on this thing. Pretty crazy. This must be the back side of the power modules all coming in there. You have some of your big high power breakers here. Just take a look at all this run. You have your inline fuses, some juicy bus bars in this thing. Oh, cool. Hell yes. Love this stuff. I guess you have your ground bar on the bottom. This is where all the inlet power will come in. So you can see all the ports on the bottom here. So they're bottom fed up. And then they're hooked in at varying points, I guess. So you have your, yeah, I guess your input power would come over here on the right side. Maybe you have two inputs. I don't know how this is all going. So this is the, come on down here. This is the XCharge NZS 233. So it's 233 kilowatt hours. Usable is 208. I love how they say, gross and usable right on the nameplate. That's awesome. So they show 200 amps as 200 kilowatts. I have to talk to the guys there because that's really not possible on most cars. And so it's really 80 kilowatts for most 400 volt vehicle applications. So if I have one piece of feedback to them, it's, I guess for the nameplate, it makes sense, but it's also up to the CPO to say, okay, what's the best way to advertise 200 amp stuff? I'd really love to see some juicier cables on this rather than 200 amps. 200 amps are the plague, I would say. So Yeah. Yeah, don't like that so much. But that's okay. I mean, cables can be swapped and upgraded. So that might be an upgrade coming, and it could be something they switched in the next generation, which I believe can do even more power, up to 300 kilowatts. And I hope that's not 300 amps. I hope that's like 400 amps, maybe even 500 amps. I got to ask them. But that's my suggestion there. It is up to, like, if you were a charge point operator installing these, don't label them as 200 kilowatt chargers. Label them as 100 kilowatt chargers. And if someone shows up with a high voltage car, then that seems pretty reasonable to me. Okay, what else? We got our serial number, manufacture date of March of 2023. So this, again, is one of the really early ones. I don't know if they've already booted this one up and if it's been used for anything. It seems fresh. I mean, it doesn't look like anyone's ever touched this thing before, does it, Alyssa?
No, I wouldn't think so.
Dang. This is so cool. You know, more or less, I didn't want this unit for maximum power charging. What I wanted this unit for is, so we have this Autel 240 kilowatt. This is an all-in-one DC charger, and inside of it does the AC to DC rectification. In order to run this charger at 200 kilowatts or 150 kilowatts, I need 150 kilowatts of power fed to it, which we're going to be installing right on the other side of this wall. And we're in the process for this, and that's all coming along fine. But in the front of the building, we already have an existing level 2 EVSE charger, technically EVSE, that is running on 208 volt. But we can actually switch those cables over to 480 pretty easily. The panels are just right next to each other. And this is going to be replacing essentially a level 2 charging station and being able to output, again, easily 100 plus kilowatts. And a high voltage car, much more than 100 kilowatts, by replacing a level 2 charging station. They are more expensive because we had to get a giant ass battery. Now, in our case, they didn't charge us anything. This is just a review unit. It's for us to share with you guys. At least it's a recurring 1-year contract. So at the plan, the way it's set is it's supposed to go back to them after 1 year. Maybe if this video sells a few of these things and they're pleased with our coverage, then they'll let us keep it or keep an updated model. A lot of this we'll figure out over time, just to be totally transparent. It's new for us and new for them to be like testing DC chargers like we test cars, except we have to install these things. So I want them longer than a test car that we get for a week. Hope we're doing a minimum 1 year basically for the chargers. Autel gave us that one though, so that'll be sticking around. So totally different use cases here, totally different types of chargers. You have an all-in-one DC charger that's going to be, much more mass market, much less expensive initially, but potentially much more expensive to install because you need a lot of power, and also limits the ability as to where you can install high power charging like this. But this is meant for corridor charging, meant for places that have existing high power infrastructure for charge point operators to install when they're doing grid upgrades. This is actually better for our situation here because it's going to cost us 1/10 the amount for installation than we're going to be paying for that or a unit similar. And we're going to be getting comparable power output. And that's 400 amp cables, but you get the idea. If this had upgraded cables, we could do a bit more. And we can actually do bi-directional with this. So one of the cool things that we're going to be working with Colorado State University Powerhouse on, where our office is they're all energy nerds like us. We're going to be setting this battery up to be bi-directional with our building. So one thing I'm really concerned about are peak demand charges of this unit, but also we have some more coming potentially this summer that are going to be in that 400 kilowatt range. And if we're running 400 kilowatts in the middle of summer, the demand charges are going to be crazy. I don't care where we are as a business here about the kilowatt hour rate. I care about the load on the grid, the demand charge. And actually, we just did a podcast on should you pay for charging by the kilowatt hour or by the minute? And I almost would argue we should maybe think about charging by kilowatt, by the load that you're putting on the grid. Pay more for faster charging. It doesn't really work unless you have 1 million plugs because you want throughput, but that's where the cost as someone hosting charging is coming from. It's from the load on the grid. That's our big expense here. And this, I'll actually be able to backfeed the building at the same time I'm pulling power from into a vehicle from that one to reduce our overall building load. It's so crazy. So we're going to, it's a lot of software. It's a lot that we're going to have to tie in, but that's the eventual goal, is to charge this battery when, I don't even think we have time of day here. It's all load stuff, but basically whenever we have peak demand, we're going to be backfeeding the building and then charging it up through the middle of the night. So we start every day at 100%. And then, of course, as cars plug into this, the idea is this will be publicly accessible outside of business hours, school hours. So, weekends, nighttime, anyone in Fort Collins could come up and use this. It'll be the fastest charger in our area in northern Colorado. Well, we have just started to open up the battery box here. Alyssa's got the little crowbar going. Breaking this thing open. Let's go see what's going on. Just keep in mind, you got 200 kilowatt hours in here. Don't pierce the battery.
Well, I hope the battery's not on top here.
Yeah, I think it'd be fine. We're a professional operation here going on.
Yeah. Something like that. This one's been quite the booger.
Yeah, this isn't so bad though.
The side pieces.
Yeah, it's not been too bad.
Oh.
Okay, we can start to get our first glance. Whoa.
Plastic.
Holy
Styrofoam.
Okay, but look at that big ass freaking box full of batteries.
Solid.
We gotta pull it all out. Well, we got everything unboxed. All the side wooden pieces. I hope those don't explode. Those freak me out. I just don't like the idea of having pressurized cylinders by us. Although at least that one says empty. Some of them say full. But the queen of unboxing herself is enjoying this now.
Oh, I love peeling these things.
Yeah, I would never steal an unboxing opportunity from Alyssa. It's her. Whenever we get like a press car to review or something and they forgot to remove some of the plastic.
Search for it.
Yeah, she's going all around looking for it. And the king of that was our EV9, actually. That had...
It still has stuff on it.
Yeah.
That I've left for later.
This one loves unboxing. And wow, look at this. 209 kilowatt hour usable battery pack. It's basically a Hummer EV equivalent battery right here. This is going to live outside next to the charger attached together on this bottom panel. And wow, this is the most exciting thing to me, actually, because I love the idea of bidirectionality. I love the idea of buying energy when it's cheap. I love the idea of backfeeding the building when we're pulling big power from the Autel or from something else. And this just unlocks a world of possibilities for us. And it is, yeah, I think we'll keep the top thing on. But wow, look at this, Alyssa. This and the charger matching perfectly. Beautiful shells. That's pretty amazing. And I love the fact that it's a LFP battery.
Yeah, that's really great. That's good. That eases our mind a little bit more about having it inside of here.
Yeah, of course. I was like, if this is NMC and like it just came off shipping, I don't know if I want it indoors.
Yeah, especially when we start storing like our older EVs and stuff like that inside of here. We're like, I think we need a little bit better sprinkler system with the track records, but they got it all covered already. They're prepared for this. They're like, if 100 gallons of diesel goes up in flames,
You mean the school is ready?
Yeah, the school's ready. We're ready too.
Yeah.
Because the school's ready, because we're ready.
Yeah.
Or else it's danger.
It still is dangerous. This is big, a lot of energy in here. My understanding is the battery's sitting somewhere around 25 or 30% state of charge for storage is what they told me. So I think that's great. And holy smokes.
Yeah, if the installers remove this without me here, I will be pretty angry.
Okay, so you gotta be the one to peel all this off then.
I'll be here for that. Tom helps in with that project.
Okay.
Is this little guy is all that we have left?
Yeah, just this little one right here, which I think is on the box. It said transformer, I think, but I got to see what the heck it is. I don't even know. So it could just be ancillary equipment. Unsure. And then once we're done unboxing this one, which shouldn't take too long, we will give a final wrap up of the installation. I'll show everyone roughly what we're thinking as far as install goes. And then in the pitch black, yeah. Well, if you're a YouTube channel member, by the way, we offer I think it's $5 a month, a YouTube membership. And I've already given a full tour of how we're going to have everything wired up on that membership. So thanks to all of you who support Out of Spec by being a nerd level. No, it's built into YouTube. It's a YouTube subscribing member thing. Oh, no. How'd you break it? Oh, yeah.
Twisting it.
Not looking so good there, Alyssa. Try twisting it the other way now. See if we can unbreak it. Sick. Holy smokes. So can't wait to hook up at least something over here. I didn't realize we had 480 in our bay. So time to get stuff wired. Hell yeah. Alrighty. Let's open this bad boy up. Whoa, we got some connection points up here. This is no joke. This might literally be a little transformer. How cool is that? Yeah, C8A transformer. Now, what would we need this for?
I don't know. Should we keep it on?
I mean, what's cool is the XCharge guys are actually coming next week to kind of walk us through everything so we can be so much more knowledgeable in all of this. And it's like, this is, again, one of the first ones. It's so cool that it came here so we can play around with it, but we have so much learning to do. I did confirm this is a LFP battery pack, so from a safety standpoint, I feel so much better about that than NMC. Not that I'm like worried about batteries just exploding, but you know, after shipping, things can get damaged. It had the shock thing on it. I don't know. That now I'm not worried about it. That's awesome. And it actually had some banana peels on the roof.
Yeah. Some monkeys were hanging out.
Yeah. Some monkeys running around on that thing. Yeah, who knows where the heck it's been and what it's been through on its way here to Colorado. Wow, this is epic. Alrighty, Alyssa, let's open this thing up. Nice. Well, that was obviously planned for YouTube. Okay, so this looks like it is a part of the unit, and it does appear to be some sort of, I mean, it said transformer on the box, comes with some keys. I'm going to hand this over that away. I'm not going to take away the unboxing from you. So for those of you who are asking, why isn't Kyle doing any of the work? I am behind the scenes, but Alyssa loves this stuff. Okay, nice. The final piece of wrapping comes off.
Ta-da.
Whoa, so let's see what the heck is in here. Okay, nice, cool. Yeah, it looks just like a little transformer. So we got like one inside of one, extra wires down there. Perhaps this is between the charger and the, or I should say the dispenser and the battery, or perhaps it's for the input feed. I'm sure they will tell me, of course, what it's for as I learn more about these things. So this is fantastic. So Alyssa, let's wrap up on the XCharge thing, if you wouldn't mind. Actually, before, let me get your thoughts on this. What do you think about XCharge and the Autel and these two different types of chargers? What are you looking forward with all this?
Well, two totally different use cases. This could be in more rural areas, and but man, my goodness, it is quite the unit, and there's still more to come, and that's just mind-blowing, just the amount of space needed for this.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big battery. This is a special use case,
right?
But
yeah.
there are countless use cases that need this,
especially in the United States. There's just long stretches with absolutely no grid, and this is where this comes into play.
Yeah,
but,
our trip to Alaska, for example, there's almost no grid infrastructure up there.
Yeah.
This could actually power vehicles in rural places, and even just replacing existing level 2 units with of course, if you just charge on this all day, every day, nonstop.
Yeah.
This is not the right solution. You will just drain the battery and have, whatever your AC input connection is to the grid, which would be maybe 40 or 50 kilowatts.
Yeah, this is for, I wouldn't say trickle charging, but trickle charging in the sense of not as many input and output with cars and
so low throughput situations.
Yeah, that's the word. So, but man, is it massive.
Yeah, it's a big boy.
It's a big boy. But I think it's the same height as the Alto. It's just on these stilts. But still, with this and that added and all the other stuff, it's just there. We still have that whole base for it.
And I was thinking actually for our use case here, for people that are coming to the school that visit for an hour or two, for us, we pop in, we got to get stuff ready. The 200 amp cables is not a problem. We're just going to make sure it's branded properly so that it doesn't indicate that it's a 200 kilowatt charger.
Yeah, no, that's
unless there's a boost profile.
Yeah, which you never know. There might be. We'll find out more in the future of this series of what is this thing really capable of when we actually talk to the people at XCharge when they come out, which is really awesome that they're doing that. That's exciting.
Yeah.
To learn more.
So shout out to Lou, shout out to Atish, shout out to Alex. Yeah. They're all awesome.
Really great to work with, honestly.
Yeah, they're just nerds like us.
About their projects and just love seeing passion with everything and seeing the people who have created and behind all these are their babies. So we will take care of the baby as much as we can. But
yeah, I mean, we're going to use the hell out of it.
The public is going to be open to the public. The Alto is not going to be open to the public.
Yeah, we need to figure out a pricing scheme so that we're not actually making any money. The goal here is not to make money, but it's also to cover our costs. So we'll maybe even do this for 20 cents a kilowatt hour, 30 cents a kilowatt hour, something like that. I don't actually know. We have to calculate it out.
I just don't think there's going to be that much but
yeah, I don't think people are going to really use it that much.
I mean, we have electric cars here for sure, but a lot of people have home charging, which is what you should have.
Yep, absolutely. But there are days where I roll up here and I'm at like 1% and I'm like, oh crap, let me take a different car home. Whereas here I could juice it up.
We have a very, very, very unusual use case with EVs.
Yes.
But yeah, this is super exciting. This is super awesome. There's a lot to unfold, a lot to unpack, a lot to plug in, and excited for that process of the commissioning of all this stuff, and it's a lot to do.
All right, so we go through the install?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a little area right out here. I'm just going to poke my head out this door, and that is where we are going to install the Autel, and I'm actually going to be putting in some extra concrete pad space right along here, right along this edge, so you can pull up vehicles in the back. Now, this is not going to be open to the public. This is just for our testing and friends and people here at the school, but just as a testing area, so we can drop in a charger for 6 months or a year, pop it out, put in a different one, and I'll have 3 spaces for all-in-ones. Of course, the Autel will be sticking around, so that's going to be on that far left corner because there's a driveway there for our cars. So that one is kind of going to just get used all the time. We're only running one real juicy conduit out here. We're going to run a 600 amp fuse and the cable sizing to match, so we can actually run a 400 kilowatt all-in-one charger. There's, of course, Alpitronic and a few other 400 kilowatt all-in-ones. We saw Zorova recently that, are possibilities that we'll be able to test. So I want to make sure we at least have the power to plug in for up to 400 kilowatts. I think it's a reasonable amount. Now, there is a crawl space below us. It's about a 5-foot crawl space, and it comes from basically all the way to the edge of the building, this is where we're going to tunnel out to that little parking space, all the way to our electrical room, which I'm going to show you there. Now, this is not for the battery buffered stuff. This is all for the high power, juicy things. So come join me. Imagine under the crawl space, through here, we're just going to run a dedicated line underneath the building over to our electrical room, which is just over this way. And there is the electrical room. So again, pretty much a straight line out of our panel underneath the building and then out. We don't need to bore under any pavement. It should be pretty simple. Here's our big panel, just so you guys can see it. This is MDB2. It's 1200 amps. We're going to be running roughly 600 amps out of it. We have to do a load calculation, but we should be good. The building, pretty much right now, it's only using 53 kilowatts, 52 kilowatts, but even during middle of the day, 80s are the most. So we have plenty of available power. And keep in mind, this is just a sub panel. We have megawatts of connection on the old building, because this building used to be, the building over there, but it's connected, used to be the main power station for the city of Fort Collins. So we have, dedicated hardcore power here, which is great. Now, of course, Colorado State University Powerhouse is, sort of a innovation laboratory, a lot of private industry, a lot of school industry, or I should say government school stuff, which is cool. It's just cool to see stuff going on. I don't know. They're working on renewable energy systems with like crazy liquefied, mad science stuff. But I'm here to show you these panels. Now, underneath this panel right here, there are two conduits. Those two right there run underneath this panel and out to our front parking lot over there. This panel is a 480 volt panel. What we're going to do is we're going to put in a breaker for our XCharge, divert it over to the conduit that goes outside, and run the 480 volt all the way out to the main parking lot, which we're not 100% sure how this is going to work out yet, but I'm hoping we can actually keep our level 2 EVSEs because there's an unused conduit. We only need 85 amps to run the XCharge unit, so we can really push up a bunch. These are part of Out of Spec scoots, which is pretty fun. And the students can ride and write a little report. But there's our EVSE out there, the old Schneider. That thing's been putting in the work forever. That's the spot where I think we're going to install the XCharge, and then we may move that unit over a little bit. Now, if for whatever reason we need to use both conduits that run out there, we'll have to replace the EVSE, which I don't necessarily want to do because then we only have level 2, only DC charging available to students, faculty, etc. And you really shouldn't DC charge a car every day, and it's not the use case for it. Now, we do have another parking lot over there that regardless, I'm going to be putting in level 2 charging just so that people can charge more here. Plus, I got a bunch of EVSEs laying around, so we'll install those over there. So essentially, the way it'll work is we'll have our own DC charging hub in our back corner over there. We'll have the XCharge unit that everyone can use up front. And then we're going to be expanding level 2s in the side parking lot on the other side of the train tracks over there, which is going to be sick. So that's sort of the install layout. Now, of course, that's the install sort of wiring path, just a very high level overview. If you want more detail, subscribe if you want to. And of course, I'll be detailing the entire thing on this channel in due time. So if you don't want to subscribe, you don't have to. We'll have all the nerd videos here for you to see as far as the install goes, which I'm very much looking forward to trying out. I've contracted 3 companies to come and give us quotes on the installation. Win Marion, Owl Services, and Q Merit. Now, Win Marion will come out, and they basically all have expertise in EV charging. They all have their own little pros and cons. They're all fantastic companies. And ultimately, it just comes down to which one will find the right contractor that will give us the best deal. Now, of course, we're going to be filming all of this, so I hope that it's a promotion for any of these companies are really, really great. Again, I wouldn't work with, we've had like local electricians that we could contract for way less money and just say, hey, can you wire this up? But the point of this whole project is to highlight the DC fast charging industry. And a lot of that comes down to going through the permitting process and the electrical speccing and talking with companies that do the major DC charging installations like Electrify America, EVgo, etc., others that we use in the public, and learning from them about how our install is the same or different and what they find out in, doing some of those big sites. Like, for example, some of them are involved with the Tesla supercharger programs that we're talking to that are doing hundreds of chargers at a site. There's a new one coming with, I think, 160 Tesla superchargers in California, which is crazy, just dispensers. So this is very small scale, but I'm trying to work with the companies that do the big scale stuff. So ultimately, once we get all 3 quotes in, we're going to make a decision. We'll see which one basically will let us film the most educational content and give us the best deal on install. That's, I think, fair. This is not a cheap installation. We're somewhere in that $50,000 range for all of this. But again, some of these companies value Out of Specs content and may give us a discount for sharing you the videos. And I will be running through all of the numbers. It'll all be transparent through that entire process. So that's where we're at with the install, is just we need one last quote. Once we select the company to partner with on the install, all 3 of which it does, no question, whichever one we choose will be fantastic, but we're just are in the nitty gritty pricing negotiations right now. Once that all gets sorted, then the educational stuff can count. In the meantime, I'm going to try and hook up our Autel, not me, I'm going to have like a local electrician come and wire up this to our Autel unit temporarily, just so we can do some DC charging here in the garage, just so we can fire this thing up, we can play around with it, we can go through a quick commissioning process, and then what we'll do is when we install it outside, we'll do the deep dive nerd stuff with my friend Dan at Autel, who will fly out and help us set it up for the permanent install. I think that's kind of everything. So, you know, it's 11 o'clock at night now, and I'm pretty tired, but holy smokes, this is like a dream come true. There's nothing more I love than high power charging, and now we have our own and our own very different types of systems. Of course, this is going to cost a lot more than a basic all-in-one, but there's also a lot of benefits and there's downsides to both. I mean, it's really cool. So I think the thing when it comes to DC charging is there is no one size fits all. We want to test a bunch of different units with a bunch of different strategies, and we're right in the middle of it. We got that going, Alyssa, don't you think?
Yeah, I think it'll be cool to, you know, once we have these commissions, once we have everything in and installed and have a little bit of time with everything, just kind of doing the pros and cons to each, especially just explaining the use case for each of these, because it's just totally different. A lot of people just absolutely don't understand this and think it's just a waste, but it's not. There's so many things that you can do with it, especially in those remote areas. So there'll be a lot more to come and explain in this. I don't know. It's going to be a pretty large series, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just going to continue it as long as we have them, and, you know, really share everything that goes on with them, the troubles, and anything and everything, the niggles, whatever you want to call it, that comes with owning these things and owning separate chargers from separate companies with separate softwares and all that stuff. So it's going to be an abysmal, but it's going to be fun.
Right. So ultimately, before any company sends us a charger, we're always like, hey, if it breaks, like, hey, we'll let you know, but we're also going to let the audience know.
Yeah, we want to let you guys know what goes on, and then, but we also want to let you know, like, the response that we get from the different charging companies that we have and like what they do. I mean, it's obviously not as real life as a lot of people see, because you hear all the chargers are offline, and you don't really get that experience of, oh, hey, we can call up the CEO and things get fixed within minutes. So we'll definitely share those use cases and all that stuff. And
yeah, and it's good for us to learn, you know, by us running these chargers in Colorado. I mean, here in northern Colorado, we get days that are over 100 degrees Fahrenheit quite regularly in the summer. Yeah. And in the wintertime, we'll get below 30 a couple days in the winter, but normally it's around that freezing point or just below. So we'll be able to test the two temperature extremes, which is great. It's also why we're here, because we do vehicle testing. That's what I love. And these are what power vehicles, which is, yeah, I also love those.
Is going to be in the direct sunlight when it's hot.
Yeah, this thing's going to be baking.
Probably not, because it's behind the building, so it'd be shaded for.
Yeah, the Autel probably won't get as tough of a life.
As hot, but it'll still be hot.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So anyway, we have a lot to learn, a lot to unpack, literally, with all of this. Hopefully the next video is us plugging in our Autel and getting it going for the first time. Then, of course, we're going to be doing a bunch with the XCharge, getting this hooked up and getting going for the first time. And there's more units that allegedly are on the way. So we're going to keep it pretty chill for now. These two units are enough for me to handle.
Yeah, we just need to get the install in the ground, and like Kyle mentioned, we have separate plates for future installs as well, so we're prepared for it. But right now we're not prepared enough, or we're in the midst of everything and getting all the permits.
Right, and it's been going
relatively fast considering.
Yeah, I mean, fast when we're here. When I'm traveling, I'm not really focused on this project, and everything gets delayed because I'm not responding to emails, and it gets shoved weeks down the line. So thanks for everyone's patience. Thanks, Alyssa, for all your help unboxing this stuff. That was great. And yeah, hell yeah. We'll see you guys on another one again soon. Let me know what you think about these two units. Let me know what you think about our project.
Yeah, we'll want to know all the questions. Yeah,
we'll be sharing everything. Absolutely. Thanks for watching. See you in another one again soon.